this subsidy cost should have been money that will be given to the NNPC maybe on monthly basis or even on daily basis if necessary. But however, since the provision of the 6 trillion in 2022 and the 3.7 trillion in 2023, we have not received no payment whatsoever from the Federation. That means they are unable to pay, and we continue to support the subsidy from the cash flow of the NNPC. That is, when we net off our fiscal obligations of taxes and royalty, there is still a balance that we are funding from our cash flow, and that has become very, very difficult and affecting our other operations. We are not able to keep some of this cash to invest on our core businesses, and the end result is that it can be a huge challenge for the company. And we have highlighted this severally to government that they must compensate NNPC, they must pay back NNPC for the money that we have spent on the subsidy. Fortunately, also by virtue of the provisions of the law and also the Appropriation Act 2023, it is no longer available for that funding. And we are very convinced today that the country can no longer fund this subsidy bill, and they will not be able to pay NNPC. And therefore, we are pleased to note Mr. President's commitment to elimination of this subsidy because they can't afford it anymore. And we will take necessary steps to ensure that we recover our costs from the market, and also being mindful of the fact that a situation like this can lead to exploitation of customers, and we're also working with the regulator who is here with me to see how we can cap any such excessive management of greed, to say the least. And this will be contained by virtue of the provisions of law, the authority or the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority and the Anti-Competition Agency.
We also understand that the provision of the law that provided the removal of subsidy from February 2021. Therefore, Mr. President's pronouncement yesterday was in line with the law. However, what I can assure you that as an NDPRA, we are ready to license anybody that wants to import, because NNPC has always been the supplier of premium motor spirit. However, with the removal of subsidy, as pronounced by Mr. President, that has opened the floodgate for any intended marketer or company that wants to import premium motor spirit in the country. We are ready to issue licenses or permits for them to do so. At least that will open more competition, and the NNPC now will reduce, of course, the burden. There will be less burden on NNPC to continue with this. So that's one. Number two, I also want to assure the public that ourselves, NDPRA, and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, will make sure that the customer or the consumer is not taken advantage of. Because I had a discussion earlier with Tunde, the commissioner of FCCPC, and where we intend to work together to ensure that the consumer is not taken advantage of. Secondly, or thirdly, I want to call upon all the marketing companies to open up their petrol stations and depots to sell to the public, because they will hear communication from NNPC, because NNPC currently has all the stock in the country. And NNPC will do their transfer price. And when you ask what is going to be the price, I cannot tell you exactly, because the market is deregulated. Therefore, it's going to be an open market based on the cost of delivery. So NNPC, of course, will advise all the marketing companies very soon to say this is their transfer price, and on the basis of that, they now will translate into what the pump price is going to be. So there's not going to be any cap per se, but it's going to be based on the cost of importation. And again, I repeat, ourselves and the FCCPC will ensure that the consumer is not taken advantage of.